Now I wanna talk about something very specific. All right, very specific. The last reaction stream that we couldn't do, the idea for that stream was we would, or rather I would, fucking gather old 90s and early 2000 cartoons openings, and we would react to those together, right? So because I did that, I have a bunch of cartoon opening, anime openings in my main page of YouTube recommendations. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And one of them was actually, I don't know if you remember a fucking show like that, but I certainly do. It was a show called NASCAR Racers. It was on Fox fucking Kids. It was this futuristic NASCAR racing show where the cars had built-in literal rockets in them, and they would function close to nitros in Need for Speed and whatnot, but the rockets would like show up like just behind your car. The fucking back door would open and there would be a huge rocket, and then your car would get boosted. It was insane. It was stupid. But after I saw that video, I decided to check if there was a racing game like that, and that actually rings a bell, but I'm unsure if I watched it. I mean, I don't remember the specific episodes, right? I just remember a show like that after watching that opening video. So that led me in a rabbit hole of racing games. I wanted to see if there were any cool racing games like that maybe we could someday fucking play together. And what I found disgusted me. It disgusted me. Most of the racing games, they're fucking sims. They're racing sims. And those that are not racing sims, they're all striving to be this photorealistic GTA light experiences, and I don't know why. I couldn't find a simple racing online game in this day and age. Can you believe me? The good ones, it's Need for Speed or nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's like, imagine for the FPS genre you could only play Call of Duty and nothing else. How that would fucking suck. Imagine that. It's exactly that way for racing games. You have what? Gran Turismo. It literally requires you to have a supremely high end of PC or the latest console to play it properly. And even then, it's just a open world shiny car looking game, and most of the cars, they're DLCs because they're relying on real world car company sponsors, man. There's Gran Turismo I've found, which is both expensive and I don't think it has that engaging gameplay. I found iRacing, something called iRacing, and also something called Race Room Experience. These are supposedly NASCAR racing sims, or rather both NASCAR and Formula 1, if I'm gonna be honest. And one of them, I think it was iRacing. I mean, both of them has terrible monetization systems. It's yeah, we just want some simple games. Exactly, Neo. Exactly. The monetization for both of these games, for most of the racing car games, is ludicrous. It makes no sense. Look, imagine this. For iRacing, first of all, if you don't have a steering wheel set to like plug into your, I don't know, console or PC, you outright can't play that game. It literally requires you to have a wheel setup. On top of that, let's say you do. Let's say you're a rich bunch. Let's say you do have a super good wheeling set up just to play racing games. Even then, this fucking game requires you to subscribe to the game for monthly payments. That's so fucking stupid. I understand, like NASCAR, Formula 1, in the real world, these are like billion-dollar businesses. I understand that. But we're trying to play a fucking video game, right? This is a racing game. Why? It doesn't have to be this rich man's hobby in the virtual world too. It's already like that in the real world. What the fuck is that? And for that other game, the Race Room Experience, it's actually free on Steam. So there's a little shine of light there. I downloaded the game though. I checked it out. You know how their monetization shit works? They have different tracks, like maps even, and they sell these tracks as DLCs coupled with different forms of cars. Let's see. There's this server. Let's call it the rookie server, right? The beginner server. This server is running on map number 3, which is DLC. So you have to buy the map 3 in order to access to the server in the first place. And then you go into the server. Let's say you buy that DLC. You go into the server, and then the game says, "Oh, this server or this map, this fucking track, only runs the race for Formula 1 cars or GT3 cars. Do you have that car in your arsenal? Let's see. You don't, because that car is also a DLC. So you buy the fucking car models separately, and then you buy the track separately just to play a fucking racing game? Why? Who? And they say the racing games are dead. Doomer posting everywhere. No wonder it's dead. I'm baffled too, and I'm not a huge racing guy. I don't watch NASCAR. This was just a rabbit hole that I found myself into, and I was like at during night, it's 1 a.m. 2 a.m. I'm like, there has to be a simple racing game where I can just press fucking W or forward key and occasionally left and right. You know? How come this is so difficult to find? Trying to absorb every bit of money out of you? Exactly. The racing game genre is dead, and I don't know if the gamers killed it this time around. Usually when stuff like this happens, it's because gamers bend over too quickly. They don't say a word. They don't what do you call it? Voice their worries. They don't pay, or rather play with their wallets. Maybe a racing Pokemon game. It would, something like that would be more akin to Mario Kart. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You know, in Mario Kart there are power-ups in the road. You pick up the power-ups and then you use them to gain an advantage. Some of them are destructive, some of them are just speed boosts. I personally, I can play that kind of game, but I don't enjoy it. If I am to play a race type game, and if this is not a fucking friendly party game that we're playing, I'd rather the racing game to be like normal. Is that too much to ask? A normal W pressing left to right, backwards. That's it. That's a racing game for me. Only car game I dabble in is Rocket League, and I'm steaming garbage. I tried Rocket League when it first came out. Maybe it was, let's see, 2017. It was actually good. I don't know if it's still around though. See, you know what I would have liked? In Rocket League, there's that boost system, and then like the jumping system with the rockets that come out of the car, you know? That they allow you to make some sick moves. I'd like moves like that, but in a normal racing track, if that makes sense. Like, there is no shooting rockets at each other, there is no throwing bombs at each other, but then there are, like, let's say we have a meter called the nitro meter, and it would fill up if we play the game at a certain speed. Let's just say, like, if you're above 50, that nitro meter would start to fill up, and then you can use it to either boost yourself forward or jump, or do the flippies, or do the jumps with the rocket thingies. A racing game like that is I'm willing to accept, honestly. That would be super cool.